This is IGN. Thrill Street Blues. This is your IGN review of The Precinct by Luke Riley. Deep in the prehistory of 1997's original Grand Theft Auto, an earlier gameplay concept that was being noodled on within the halls of DMA design initially would have had us playing as police. Eventually, the call was made to pivot and exclusively focus on the wrong side of the law, because it was decided being a criminal was way more fun than being a boring old cop. GTA as we know it was born, and a bazillion in sales later, it's hard to argue they made the wrong decision. However, nearly 3 decades down the track, The Precinct has arrived to remind us that there actually is a way to make upholding the law just as engaging as breaking it in an old-school GTA-inspired sandbox city. The Precinct may be a modestly sized package overall, and the crime-busting gameplay loops it throws at us do eventually become a little samey and worn over its roughly 12-hour campaign. But its isometric, grimy 80s aesthetic is absolutely excellent, and there's real novelty in patrolling the rain-slick streets, seeking to chip away at Averno City's never-ending supply of miscreants, mobsters, and malefactors. Setting The Precinct in the 80s is the single best decision developer Fallen Tree Games has made here. There's no cybercrime, social media, or mobile phone nonsense cluttering up proceedings. Rather, it's a world detached from all matter of modern crap. It's just you, your partner, and a radio. The Precinct is nothing if not an earnest and distinctly 20th century cops and robbers playground, and it's all the better for it. It's like an old TV show. I feel like my CD collection would probably make it clear I understand that police accountability is not a new debate by any stretch, but hey, even Henry Rollins found a way to go from spraying cops with Black Flag lyrics to playing cops in The Chase and Bad Boys 2. The Precinct just wants to let us screech in, sirens blazing, and save the day. This is not a game that attempts to grapple with controversy or the seedier sides of 80s policing. It's an idealized portrayal of cops and how they're supposed to properly protect and serve, rather than a commentary on how they actually do it. At its core, it's an action-packed ode to iconic 1980s police procedurals and movies. Every day would be the busiest and most dangerous day of any actual cop's career. Baddies are cuffed and booked without delay, and the city will never run out of squad cars, no matter how many you destroy. No one would realistically continue to live in the precincts of Averno City by choice. It's chaos. It'd be like living in the last 15 minutes of the Blues Brothers every hour of every day, as countless squad cars crash through crumbling concrete in their relentless pursuits of the city's brazen crooks. The cop fiction cliches are certainly all there. You can check off the young, idealistic rookie partnered with a jaded veteran counting the weeks until his retirement, a mustachioed chief, and an officer named Kowalski. I do wish the script had a bit more of a natural spoken word flow to it, though. As it stands, it tends to sound a little overwritten and hammy, and some of the voice acting comes over a bit corny as a result. If The Precinct really was a TV show, it unfortunately wouldn't be in line for any of Hill Street Blues' 26 Emmys. Fortunately, the hokey dialogue does little to detract from what it gets right, and I was very quickly hooked into its cadence of daily shifts on the beat. These can be pounding the pavement on foot with your eyes peeled for vandals and violence. They can be cruising the streets, prowling for carjackers, or watching for the telltale weaving of a drunk driver. They can even be aerial missions where you're hovering above the city in a chopper, catching crooks in your spotlight and calling in backup to effect arrests. The action occurs both on foot and in vehicle, so whenever you're not airborne over the city, a typical shift will involve hoofing it after some suspects before tackling and subduing them, and high-speed paint-trading car chases to catch others. Those car chases are terrific thanks to the Precinct's strong handling model. Vehicles may appear cute and toy-like on-screen thanks to the elevated isometric camera angle, but they're not sticky or twitchy. They have a really well-honed sense of weight as you hurl their all-American bulk into handbrake turns to negotiate corners. When a gaggle of squad cars with sirens blazing close in on a fleeing perp all at once, there are times when the Precinct reminds me more of the original Driver than the old 2D GTA games. The original Driver is viewed from a low-flying drone, that is. The Precinct's focus on proper arrest protocols and penalizing excessive force requires a certain level of patience that not everybody will possess, and it's a system that eventually wears out its welcome. But I genuinely enjoyed prowling the city for procedural crimes while the story lasted, and the soggy, neon-splashed 80s setting works wonders. Fallen Tree Games had a previous crack at emulating the top-down shenanigans of classic Grand Theft Auto back with 2019's American Fugitive, but putting the action on the right side of the law in the Precinct has proven to be far more arresting. The Precinct's IGN score? 7 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest updates on the Precinct, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.